Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be talking about the 5th episode of the 7th series of Doctor Who, The Angels Take Manhattan, and this episode will contain spoilers if you haven't seen the episode. Okay, so the plot, first of all, is a lot more enjoyable than what I thought it was going to be. I wasn't that happy to hear the angels were coming back, but having now watched it, I loved them. It wasn't even completely about the angels, if you know what I mean. It was kind of more about Amy and Rory leaving and how that was going to come about. I never really felt the sense that we had to overcome the angels, but rather just escape them, which was not what I was expecting, and I really liked that. The fact that it was told almost through the version of a book really excited me. I am a student of English literature. I love the fact that I could listen to things and think, yes, that is part of the power of literature and that's how that works. So that was really quite exciting. But most importantly, the fact that they were after Rory really did kind of throw something in there that I wasn't quite expecting, despite the fact that I had heard rumours about that. The fact that it takes the attention away from Amy for a change, I really enjoyed that, and I'll talk more about that soon in a moment. But the biggest thing about the plot for me that made me quite excited was having River back, or Melody Malone. I absolutely adore Alex Kingston, and to be honest, there wasn't enough River in this for me, even though she was in pretty much most of it, but I absolutely loved her having her back, so that was brilliant. Plus, I got a little bit annoyed at the fact that we do get quite a lot of American-based Doctor Who episodes now, especially with the new hype around BBC America. But to be honest, apart from the whole Statue of Liberty Angel aside, and the fact that the Doctor can't return there because of New York's scrambled timeline and things, it could have really been set anywhere, so I was completely over the moon with that. I think the development of the plot worked really well. There were concepts in there I hadn't expected. It took completely different directions to what I had anticipated. So the plot, I cannot really fault it that much, to be honest. The episode was directed by Nick Hurran, and he's quickly becoming one of my favourite directors for Doctor Who. There were some really amazing shots there. The shots with the baby angels, the baby weeping angels, I thought were really quite sinister, especially since they were quite young. It can be hard to make something that cute quite terrifying, but they were. The shots of the angels, the pace of the angels moving around, and some of the shots kind of looking over the angels' shoulders were quite sinister and quite creepy. My second favourite shot, of course, was the one where Amy and Rory were falling from the building. Also very quickly, the fact that the companions nearly committed suicide for the Doctor really took things to a new level. I'm kind of pleased that that wasn't the outcome. But my all-time favourite shot in this, my all-time favourite frame, was when River slapped the Doctor. Just Matt's face after that slap, just looking into the camera, was the most hilarious thing ever, and I hadn't expected to laugh in this episode at all, but that I really enjoyed. I think the chemistry between River and the Doctor in this was really heightened. River is one of my all-time favourite companions, if I'm allowed to call her a companion. I don't think I am, but their chemistry in this was just out of this world, and I absolutely loved that as well. When I heard that it was written by Stephen Moffat, I wasn't completely over the moon. One or two of his episodes are a little bit dull, to be honest, but I actually quite enjoyed the script for this. There are two particular things I want to point out. First of all, when Rory said, "Only you could fancy someone in a book," I would just like to point out that it is completely possible to fall in love with somebody from a book. I've fallen in love with many book characters, and it's quite exciting. The other thing I want to point out, which I put on Twitter and quite a few people retweeted this, I think this is probably my all-time favourite Doctor Who quote. It's when the Doctor rips out the book and he says, I always rip out the last page of a book, then it doesn't have to end. I don't like endings. And that was obviously, that was quite early on in the episode. That was the instant indicator this is not going to be a happy ending. I mean, most of us kind of knew that it wasn't going to be a happy farewell, but that was kind of the indicator there, had you not really heard that previously. Honestly, what I found more heartbreaking about this was River and the Doctor and the emotions between them, and when River was getting kind of emotional about how she loves somebody who is going to live forever, and it's such a beautiful scene, and I hope we get to see lots more of River, because I do love her. Almost, in fact, I might even prefer River to Rose, which is a massive thing for me to say. Right, the ending of this, to be honest with you, is it's a happy ending. I know that's not what I should be saying, but this is a happy ending. We know Rory and Amy live a long, happy life. It's just away from the Doctor, and it's not where they should be living out their life. But never mind, it does also mean in some very far-fetched version that they could come back, because, you know, they lived for years after departing from the Doctor, you know. So for some, the Doctor got back to New York. He could do it again. He may get to see them eventually. I doubt it'll happen, because then there would be an outcry that really they're just taking this whole sci-fi thing to a completely different level. But it is possible. They are not dead. Yes, they are in present day, but one could argue that there's still a possibility. But never mind, the episode was a complete roller coaster of emotions. First of all, from them falling off. First of all, when Rory stood up there, I was like, "What are you doing, Rory? Get down!" And then I nearly cried, and then they were alive, and then they were gone again, and it was a lot to cope with, and I haven't grieved yet because I was watching it in the library because my internet's being stupid just now. So I went to the library to watch it, and obviously I wasn't going to cry in the library, so I've not had a proper chance to grieve yet. So as soon as my internet's fixed, I'm going to rewatch the episode and probably bawl my eyes out for about an hour. However, I'm not crying for the loss of Amy. It's Rory that I miss. It's Rory that I want back. To be honest, I'm not saying I don't like Amy. Of course I do, you know. She's basically me, ginger Scottish Amy, lives for the Doctor. But it's Rory that I love, and I will miss him so much. Arthur Darvill is one of the most amazing actors ever, and just the wit the character brought forward was so sensational. And it's great to have a comedic character who doesn't outshine the comedy of the Doctor. It worked so well, and I'm not yet looking forward to the Christmas episode, if I'm honest. But in time I will be. Goodbye to the Ponds. It's the end of an era. It has been 3 wonderful years with 3 wonderful, wonderful series. But as always, the show must go on. Please feel free to leave your comments and let me know your thoughts on this episode, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.